Hey, what's up, Dean? Safe Performance. We are working on the Chevelle again. So I got the front all wrapped up this morning, minus the fan, 12 volt signal, and the heater stuff because I'm still waiting on that harness. But all the headlights are done, turn signals, the side markers, which see it in there somewhere. It's in there somewhere. There it is. I gotta get the bulbs. I ordered all the bulbs, so they should be here. Both sides are all done. I got the covers on the mega fuses. I got another bolt in there holding it, so you can see the rubber. It doesn't come with that bottom, but the rubber falls out. I tried to zip tie it up, but you know, it is what it is, kind of. So that's the plug you have to build to go down to the side marker and turn signal. That's all done. I got the positive cable crimped with some heat sleeve. I believe what I'm going to do is take the negative off, cut the cable, and crimp the cable with 2 grounds in it. And I'll ground probably up to the fender here, and then I'll ground to the front core support, probably where that bolt is down in there. You just barely see it where the headlight ground is. So I'll run a ground to that. Then I'm going to add a ground off the back of the block up to the firewall, probably that bolt there, or maybe one of those bolt holes. That way there we kind of have everything, you know, has kind of decent grounds run to it anyways. So what I did was I jacked the car up, got on jack stands, and I started letting the fuel tank down. Well, no, I did let the fuel tank down, and then now I already took the sender wire off, but to my surprise, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, wait, I think 12 hose clamps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hose clamps. Minus the vent, I'm going to count that, but there's 11 hose clamps. There would be 12 if they put one on that side, but I guess it doesn't need it. It's a vent, but still, you must have run out of hose clamps. So I'm taking all of these off, and then I'm going to adapt this line here, which is the return, and that line there, which is the feed. I'm going to adapt them to AN, use the factory steel line with another compression fitting. Yeah, so that's what I'm working on right now. And then I gotta unzip tie the whole return line all the way up to the front, pull out that yellow butt connector with the red wire, which is the positive, and then of course again you've got the over crimp on the ring terminal. You can see it's like smashed completely flat. So, and then they grounded the fuel pump over here to the fuel tank, which then goes up to the chassis. It's right there. So I'm fine with that for the fuel sender, but I'm gonna cut the fuel pump ground out because in the other video I ran a feed and a ground for the fuel pump. So I'm gonna get I have the big plugs coming. I wish I didn't put them on the fan. Yeah, because I can't make the plug yet until I get them. But I'm gonna put a big plug on there so that you could actually unplug the fuel pump if you ever needed to. I mean, you can undo the ring terminals, but it's easier to unplug something because those ring terminals, some people tend to break them. So we'll avoid that. But yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make sure I have the fittings. I gotta undo those rubber lines and then unscrew those fittings, make sure I have the 6AN fittings to go in there, because we're gonna pull a whole new return line laying on the ground like a dirty scrub. But yeah, that's what I'm working on. All right, so I did end up cutting a negative cable. Excuse me. I crimped 2 extra wires in. One goes to the fender, one goes to the radiator core support. It's got the little copper tab on it, and then there was one of those factory like wire hangers, so I zip tied the wires in just to hold them a little better. I added a red heat sleeve to the positive because both cables are black, and you might get confused if you have to change the battery or something, because they're both fairly long. So we don't want none of that. The back, I put the plugs in to kind of get a measurement on how far over this goes, which rough idea. But these are the bulbs. Every single one of them did this to me, which is kind of common when they get old. But I got the side markers in. The bulb was still good for it. I gotta squeeze through. So the harness comes down underneath, then the side marker goes up. It has a ground in it which goes into the harness. Then the harness comes up. I drilled a hole and zip tied it up there, then came across, put the rubber grommet on, shoved it down through, and then so that's all the wires, the fuel pump wires, everything are through that grommet. I drilled it out a little bit to make the wires fit, but so all of them come to this plug, which is for driver's side tail light, backup light. Then they're loomed again all the way across, and in the middle you split off for the license plate light, which they give you a new plug, the new style plug like this. They give it to you for the bumper too. So it goes over, it's heat shrunk, then it splits and goes up back into the car. So this is the taillight section. So this will be up in here. Then it comes up through with another new grommet, and I taped it off, used one of the factory clips, and it goes to the side marker. I did have to extend the running lights and the ground wire. For whatever reason it was short, but they gave you another loom of running lights, which is, it's just kind of weird that they did it that way, when every other wire is like a mile long. So I have the new bulbs coming. These are all the extra pins. All the new bulbs are coming. These ones are probably still good. Yeah, these ones are still good, so I'll leave those back there. Hopefully the new bulbs show up in a day or so. Then I ended up taking the tank all the way out, because the ground that was running up for the sending unit actually just like broke off as I was kind of putting everything together. So, you know, over crimping is kind of bad. You know, this is a big yellow crimp, so it's meant for like a 10-12 gauge wire, and you shove a 14 or a 16 gauge wire in there, you know, it just destroys the wire. So I got to strip that back, put a new loom on it. But I got the sending unit, the fuel sending unit wire on, then the positive and negative for the fuel pump. I took the fittings out. I had to order their 1/4 inch MPT. I thought they were 3/8, but they're 1/4 inch. So I don't have those. I do have all the AN stuff, except for the compression to go up there. Then, you know, waiting on these plugs, I decided, well, I could at least put the male side that I have left over from the fans from Jonathan's truck and this car, and get the tank back up. But now I can't get the tank back up because I don't have those. So the only thing left to do is cut these 3 wires to length, put the other half of that connector, and then put the male side of this one, which will actually be that one there. Oh boy. This one here, and then a female, this one, right? Female? Yeah. So these are all the extras. I'll leave that there. That's for the fuel sender. No, I'm just wasting time here. Come on. Then I'm gonna put a little bit of like glue or something on these tank straps and kind of keep them in there a little bit better because they just constantly fall out. So as far as the chassis wiring is pretty much 100% done. This is the other end of the license plate plug, so that's on. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much all done. I have to do the dash wiring. I did decide what I want to do is wire up the factory blinkers. I just think it's neater, and you'll kind of, if you're looking at the dashboard, you know, it's nice Dakota Digital, but your left blinker is in the tach and your right blinker is in the speedometer. Speedometer is centered on the column, more or less. So you can see the green arrow and the green arrow. Those are your turn signals, and then that's your high beam indicator. I have no idea what that hole would be for. Maybe a check engine light or oil light, like another dummy light. So I think this has the high beam. That might be the other wires that are down there. Let's see if we could see it. That's the horn relay. Oh, dive down in there. Don't drop your phone. That might be that one right there. Right there. Yes, sir. I'd be willing to bet this is your high beam indicator. So, we've got right turn, left turn, and high beam. And what I'll do is I'll ground them all and then wire them loose and just make sure that they work. So it's pretty much all I have left to do, which this doesn't have a ground built in. No, damn it. Darn. Doesn't have a ground built into it. But I'll run a ground. Not a big deal. Then I have to pull off the dome. Yeah. I have to pull off the dome for like dimmer. Which I gotta look how to do that, because it's like when you turn the lights on, see it says dimmer switch feed. No, so that wouldn't be it. I don't know which one it would be. I have to look at how that box is wired. That's, you know, pretty much all that's left though is to wire the dash stuff up, and then there's another green. There's another little green wire. What is that for? Oh, no, it just hung down, that's all. You need to stay. You really need to stay right there. Good boy. Oh, look at that, huh? Give her a little kink and she stays. Okay, so those are there. Yeah, really all I got left is to figure out the Holly, where I'm going to mount it, wire that, which is pretty simple. Like I said, he's only got the 2 outputs. I'll add in the 2-step, why not? And then there's 3 outputs, so it'll be speedometer, tach, technically, fuel pump, fans, yeah, a couple outputs, yeah, but yeah, I mean, moving along. I haven't gotten a ship notification on that harness. I emailed them and they haven't replied back yet. So that kind of sucks, but we'll figure that out. I did get an email notification. The new rails, I think, will be here today. Then there's a bunch of Holly stuff I ordered. Oh, the injector harness should be here tomorrow. I forgot all about that. That should be here tomorrow. So, should be in a good spot tomorrow as far as possibly putting the battery in. Maybe I'll have to do the dash wiring, put the battery in and kind of do like a systems check. Make sure the headlights work, high beam, low beam, blinkers. Just kind of run through, make sure everything works. Then go right into doing the Holly. So that's it for this one. The Chevelle is almost wrapped up. All the hidden crap is out, and putting all the new stuff back in is coming along good. So we're at the point now where the car itself has a completely new harness, which is freaking awesome. But appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified, leave me a comment.